Welcome to episode number 20 of The Roar, the show for all things Hershey Cubs, players, coaches, personnel, and news. I'm Joshua Gearhart, your host and broadcast for the Cubs. Joining us today are the Cubs public address announcers, Denny and Hannah, and the best mascot in the USPHL, Cubby. Thank you for joining us today. And how is everyone doing?
Doing great, Josh.
Yeah, I'm doing pretty good.
Good. We're
Very
happy to
well.
have you guys on. This is going to be an awesome episode. I can already tell it's got all the technical difficulties pre-recording. So now that we're ready to go, I think it's going to be a good episode. But kind of to lead us in here, how did everyone land their current position with the Cubs? What was that process like, and how did you guys get to where you are now? And I'll have Hannah start us off here on this one.
Yeah, so it's actually pretty interesting. So I originally started the Roar blog as a blog for the Bears, and then I just kind of gave up on that and I let it sit there to dry. And then I remembered it one day. I'm like, oh, I should turn this into a Cubs blog. So I started talking to Coach Brady. He was like, absolutely, you could come to some practices, get some content and all that. And after doing that for a while and then going to a couple games, I went to Crystal and I said, "Hey, can I have an official title and or like just an official position?" And she said, "Well, we don't really have the funds to pay you right now." And I said, "That's okay. Can I just do some sort of like internship thing?" She's like, "Yes. What do you want to do? When do you want to start?" So I kind of created my own position as social media help like assistant and arena host.
I got to give you some creative props here. I was a huge fan of The Roar before actually creating the Roar podcast. So, not gonna lie to you, some of the creative name idea for this podcast originated from your blog. So I guess we should kind of give you creative props on here from going forward. But yeah, no, I was a huge fan of the Roar for a long time before I joined the Cubs. I watched the content, I love the content, and a lot of times I'll incorporate the content you use into the questions of the other guys. Like for example, on podcasts of Johnny DiClemente and all the goalies, I asked them if they weren't playing hockey, what would they be doing? Because I saw in your content you had a great question where Johnny had said he wanted to be a rock opera singer.
Yeah.
So I thank you for the work you've done. It's been awesome. It's been a great inspiration for all of us here on the Roar podcast as well. But
Well, thank you.
yeah,
Thank you.
Denny, will go down to you now. The man behind the mic at the arena. How'd you get here?
Well, I saw when they were getting a team, I knew that Bruce and Crystal owned the team. So I actually reached out to Crystal and we were talking. I remember this is during COVID.
Mm.
And she was saying, like, we were interested, but, I want to do Crystal's like, I want to do an audition. So, and it just turned out that we were doing a high school tournament because the CPIHL season was canceled that year.
Yeah,
So we did a
yeah.
high school tournament. And I told Crystal, like, hey, we're having a game I can't remember what the date was, but I said, hey, we're having a game. Just come out and listen. Well, it turned out that game got postponed because of COVID. So when the game got rescheduled, I told her, come on out. And I did the music, I did the announcing, I did all that. And Crystal messaged me the next day and said, hey, we loved what you did. We want you to be our announcer. I was like, all right, easiest audition ever. And here we are.
The fact that you had to audition though blows my mind. Like that, I did not know that.
Yeah, I think she said there was like a couple other people that reached out to her that were interested in the
Okay, well, that
job.
explains it. Well, I hate to break it to them. I mean, we got the best in the business right here. I mean, Denny the man is really that guy.
Thank you,
So
sir.
there's no one better. And to segue into that, without further ado, the best mascot in the entire USPHL, Cubby, how'd you arrive on the scene?
Actually, Denny gave me a recommendation, and then I kind of just showed up the first game, which was against with Coco. But backstory is me and Denny kind of worked with the Senators, and I'm a mascot there as well, so it just all kind of fell in place.
Now, and I gotta ask you, is out of all the mascots that wear and the hats that you wear, is Cubby your favorite?
Yeah, Cubby's Cubby's a
Yeah.
good one. It's uh was very it's not breathable. It's a very sweat a lot of sweating, but it's yeah, it's enjoyable.
So what does a typical game day look like for everyone? And yes, that includes you, Cubby. So I guess we'll start with Cubby here on this one. What does a typical game day look like for you? What does it look like when you arrive at the rink, from when you leave to the rink, and everything in between?
Usually, when the doors open, I'm there to greet the fans that come in, and then pregame when the team's out, gets to come out of the tunnel and stuff. I'm there to high five them, and then the national anthem, and then after that, it's kind of pretty much do whatever I really want to do. I usually make like a lap around the arena, and then first intermissions, kind of like whatever, usually a break for me, and then um, second period's fan of the game, and then second intermission is chuck a puck, and that's pretty much it. Then, and then unless if I don't have a Bears game, I usually stay to the end. But I also work for the Hershey Bears, so sometimes I have to leave a little early. But that's about
Now,
it.
now, do you work hand in hand with Hannah? So I know Hannah does a lot of the fan in the game stuff like that. So
Pretty
whenever
much.
she kind of does her stuff, do you follow along with her? Are you kind of like the Hansel to her Gretel?
Yeah, I guess you could say that. Yeah. Yeah.
You two make quite the team. I've seen you guys making your rounds
Right.
before. You two definitely know how to get it done. And then we'll transition over here to Denny. Denny, what does a typical game day look like for you? You down there in between the penalty boxes. What does it look like for you? Do you approach these games differently than anything else? Like, what does that look for you? What does the process look like?
Well, all my music that you hear is geared towards, like, when we do the starting lineup, the visitor starting lineup is geared to whoever the Cubs are playing.
Yeah, because I was gonna ask you, because I'm pretty sure when they were playing Elmira, I heard you playing "Oh Elmira, what a beautiful place." I'm like, what is this song?
That is compliments to a guy that sings songs about New York. Funny
Oh
songs about
my
New York.
goodness.
Yeah, he does Elmira. I have Buffalo.
I remember the Buffalo one too. Yeah, yeah.
All the snow and Buffalo wings. Yeah.
So do all your songs have some kind of meaning behind them then?
Yeah, like when we play or an example, when we play Wilkes-Barre, I'll use The Office. I've done that already. When we played Philadelphia last year, I had like Motown Philly from Boys to Men, or I'll do Philadelphia Freedom. Yeah, all my songs typically mean something.
That's really cool. So like, do you do a lot of prep before that, or what does that look like for you?
Not really. Like the pregame stuff pretty much stays the same, except like, the organ music I'll play and stuff like that. But other than that, it's pretty much the same.
That's awesome. So, and I know Hannah, you quite honestly have arguably one of the busiest days at the rink. I don't think your feet ever stop moving. Take us through a typical game day for you. What does it look like?
So I am typically one of the first people at the rink. I always try to get the guys walking in. I try to get pictures and video of that. And then after that, I do have some time to like chill out. So I typically help Crystal with some things, or I try to come up with games with Denny for like first intermission. Make sure that, Cubby's got everything all set up. And then for warm-ups, I'm always on the bench taking pictures, getting social media content. And then after warm-ups, we have about 15 minutes or so until the anthem and game start. So then I'll typically get my ice cleats on and I'll head out onto the ice during the anthem so that way I can get the starting lineup and do the anthem and stuff. And then once game day, and then like once the game officially starts, I'll go up into the stands and I'll take some pictures and I'll get some content. And then I'll keep track of the scores, stuff like that. And then I make sure that Cubby doesn't hurt himself, like the time that he got his foot stuck in a chair.
That never
Yeah,
happened.
Oh, wait a minute, wait a minute, wait a minute. I think she just called you out. You got your foot stuck in a chair, Cubby? I think you have some explanation to do now after that.
Yeah. Yeah, it got stuck.
and my mom had to help you out.
And
Yeah.
I'd still be there if she didn't.
Yeah, we'd have to call somebody to remove the chair. because it was stuck in there. And the funniest part was that I had no idea that this was happening until like first intermission when I went over to my mom to like, say hi. She's like, "Oh yeah, so this happened." And I'm like,
You're probably like blown away. You're probably like, what?
yeah, I'm like, so why was he climbing over chairs in the first place?
Yeah, why was Cubby climbing over chairs in the first place? That is a really great question.
So yeah, do tell, Kyle.
I plead the fifth. I don't know. It was an accident. I just probably shouldn't have done that. But
The bear was climbing. The bear was climbing.
Apparently Cubs don't know how to use stairs.
yeah,
But yeah, so after Kyle gets his feet stuck in chairs and we do stuff with him, typically first intermission, I'll play a game with some fans for some sort of prize. Like I've given away a blanket, a hat, 18 Kit Kat bars. I've given away a
Wait,
bunch of
wait,
things.
wait, wait, wait. I gotta stop you there. 18 Kit Kat bars at one time, or
Yes.
18 Kit? No.
To anybody who wins the game. So I choose a person, or I choose typically two people to play a game, and then whoever wins gets this giant 18 pack of Kit Kat bars or Reese's.
Talk about have a break. Kit Kat sponsor this episode right now if you're listening. But are these going to like kids who are like half the size of the Kit Kat bar or what?
Yes. Yeah, these are going to like kids. And it's funny because every time I walk away after playing a game, I look at their parents and I go, "I apologize for the sugar rush your child is about to
I
have."
was just about to say bedtime for those kids will be totally non-existent when they get
Yeah.
home. Those
Mm-hmm.
parents probably love you.
Yeah, I know. I'm probably hated by so many parents.
Especially during those 7:30 at night games, you know.
Oh,
I was
yes.
about to say, yeah, sometimes they have games at 7:30 at night. Are you still handing out like 18-pack Kit Kat bars?
Yes.
Oh, maybe that's why the kids are not stop coming to 7:30 games.
To all the parents that are watching this who I gave their kid a candy bar, like 18 candy bars, I apologize
No, look,
profusely.
you made the kid's day, right? You made the kid's day.
Exactly.
But unfortunately, at the end of that, the parents got to deal with the kid hyped up on 18 packs of Kit Kat bars.
Yeah.
I mean, hopefully they're not eating them all at once, which I don't think they would be.
Yeah, no, I don't even think I could do that. Like, I love me
No.
some Kit
I mean,
Kats, and
like, oh, what about the rest of y'all here? Do y'all think you could eat 18 Kit Kat bars in like overall, or just like in general?
Kit Kats, maybe not. Reese's,
No.
definitely.
oh,
Reese's
yeah,
definitely.
Yes, Reese's, definitely. I have to go to Betty Ford to get off the Reese's peanut butter cups.
Yeah, probably Twizzlers.
Twizzlers are your go-to, really?
Yeah.
what?
Yeah.
What's in it for Twizzlers for you? Like,
I don't know.
what's the crave factor?
The cherry Twizzlers. I just like them. Yeah.
Hannah, what is it for you? I gotta ask. Is it the Kit Kat bars?
No, it's Reese's. I
It's Reese's.
love me some Reese's. I love peanut butter. So peanut butter and chocolate, they
That's
have
a
my
good
heart.
mix, isn't it?
Yeah, if I'm ever mad at you for something, just get me Reese's and then all of our issues will be solved.
Did I do something bad? Am I in trouble?
No, you are not in trouble. Although maybe I should be mad at you so that way I can get Reese's.
Oh, okay.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Stop giving me ideas.
Anyway, so when it comes back to what makes your job so thrilling and exciting, right? What is the most rewarding aspect of working for the Cubs? I mean, what makes you want to get up on game day and drive to the most historic rink in all of hockey and be like, I am proud to work for the Cubs? What is that feeling? Hannah, we'll start with you at the top.
Yeah, so that feeling for me, it makes me feel not like necessarily good about myself, but it makes me feel like really like proud almost that I'm like, wow, I've already come this far and I'm only in high school and I'm still, I'm only 16. And so it's really fun to see that I've already gone so far with just starting the Roar blog, which I didn't really think was going to go anywhere. And now here I am. and I get to work with amazing players. I get to work with amazing coaches. I get to do all these super awesome things. And just seeing like smiles on these people's faces, it brings me so much joy.
And correct me if I'm wrong. I mean, the Cubs have also served as a segue for you into the Reading Royals now. Is that correct?
Yes, actually, so it was the Cubs and the Bears. So I have kind of also throughout the season stepped into a role of managing Cubby. And so, making sure that he doesn't
Cubby
climb over
agrees with
shit.
you on that one. I think he's nodding his head there at the bottom.
Yeah, no, he needs a babysitter. Uh,
he needs a mama bear.
he does. You know what? I don't volunteer to be Mrs. Cubby, but I think that needs to happen.
Mrs. Cubby. I think we should
Mrs.
pitch that to
Cubby.
Crystal. That'd be a cool idea.
That would be a cool idea.
Put a
I
little
do not
put a
volunteer.
little bow on her little ear.
Yes.
Wouldn't that be awesome?
It would be so amazing. But yeah, so how that bridge to the Reading Royals came to be was I did mascot mania night with Cubby for the Hershey Bears, and Eric Jesberger, the broadcaster for the Reading Royals, was there with Slapshot, and we were kind of talking, and he said, "Here's my phone number. If you ever want to come and take pictures and build your personal portfolio, just send me a text and I'll set you up." And so I did, and now I do freelance work with them.
That is awesome. Congratulations. For the listeners at home who don't know who the Reading Royals are, that's an ECHL team, so a semi-pro team right beneath the Bears. So that is a huge, huge accomplishment, Hannah. Congratulations to you.
Thank you.
So, Denny, what is that feeling for you, right? What does it feel like to work with, one of the best franchises in the USPHL? What does it feel like to be at the rink, to be in that environment, and to be a part of the Cubs organization?
Feels really, really great. We have great owners,
Absolutely.
staff. I love working with everybody. The players are great. I think the things that I like the most is when I'm working a game, I try to make people have fun. I try to make everybody smile, whether it's the music I play, the stuff I say. Although I do notice that when we do Chuck a Puck now, the beginning, I see Hannah, you're laughing.
I'm laughing too. I'll tell you why in a minute.
We started with the whole the last couple of years it's been boring, so I'm like, okay, I'm gonna have fun with it this year. I'm gonna say get it in the created center ice. If you throw it in the penalty box, it's not gonna count. The scores table's not gonna count. And then all of a sudden, something literally hit me in the back of my head, and I was like, oh yeah, the back of my head doesn't count. And with the people I work with, they're smart people, they're intelligent people. Like Hannah took Chuck a Puck and she ran with it, which it's been a lot of fun. Hannah's been doing good with that. Saying someone hits me that they'll get $5, which
yeah.
Don't forget she tried to get me a date the last home game also.
I do remember that. I do.
It didn't work, but
did it work?
No, it didn't work, but the effort was there. I appreciate the effort.
I wish it did work, but we can't win it all. We can't win everything.
True. That was awesome. I remember when you did that, Hannah. So then you mentioned, don't hit me in the back of the head. So my question to you is, how many times have you gotten domed in the back of the head with the Chuck a Puck?
It hasn't happened with Chuck a Puck yet, knock wood, but it has happened with the teddy bear toss, the first one we ever did, where somebody threw a bear and it actually bounced off back part of the lower. Thank God it wasn't like a Teddy Ruxpin or something. It was soft.
Dude, if that was a battery powered one, that would have left a mark.
Yes, it would have. But I haven't been hit with any pucks yet. And I know I did the Cops for Cops game a couple weeks ago.
Okay.
And they did a Chuck a Puck and they used real pucks. So I was sitting here I was like, okay.
Ah!
Yeah, I said 1, 2, 3, and we all just kind of ducked and prayed. I didn't get hit that day either, but thank God.
Dude, that would have made a serious dent.
Yes, it would have.
That would have been some serious repairs needed after that one. But then we'll go over to Cubby here. That Cubby, for you, what is the most rewarding aspect of working with the Cubs, right? I mean, what does it mean to you? How important is it to you?
It's pretty important. My grandfather brought me to games at the arena, so I kind of grew up watching games at the arena, and it's just enjoyable bringing a persona to life, and the kids love Cubby, and so does the adults.
Absolutely.
So, yeah, it's good to see junior hockey in Hershey. I mean, there's the Bears obviously, and it's a good little medium to work here.
Absolutely. So for you guys, what has been your favorite memory so far from this season? And it can be absolutely anything. I want you guys to have as much fun with this as possible. We'll start off with Cubby then here down low.
Um, funniest. Trying to think. I think when I put the puck in the crate for Chuck-a-Puck, and it had Cubby's name on it.
You know,
Yeah,
I was gonna
that was kind of
ask you
funny.
about that. That was one of my questions. As lately it seems as if Cubby has been cheating in Chuck and
He
Puck.
Well, I don't know
he
if it's cheating,
has. He
I was about to
has.
say he's you've been putting that puck in the basket without actually throwing it in. So this is some time to clear the air here, Cubby, before Hannah's probably gonna sound the alarm
Oh.
on you.
Yeah, I threw it in. It was from a closer distance.
He did throw it in, Hannah. He's
Yeah,
not lying.
Okay, he might have thrown it in, but it
from
still
maybe like
doesn't
5 feet
count.
away.
What do you mean it doesn't count? Is there an actual rule book that says Cubby cannot throw the puck 5 feet away from the basket? Because last time I checked, I don't think there is.
There should be.
Oh, but there's not. So by actual ruling, Cubby should have like at least 3 Chuck-a-Puck victories, right, man?
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't take the prize. Give it to
I
the next
think Hannah
person.
owes him a big pack of cherry Twizzlers.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm sorry, Cubby.
Denny, what is it for you, that makes what's your favorite memory, right? What is out of all the things that have transpired this season, what sticks out to you as your favorite?
I don't think I really do have a favorite. There's a bunch of them.
Mm,
Like I said, it's all the people we work with.
mm.
Like, you get the guys in the penalty box, and we have a blast with them also. So, and then Eric, who does the clock, and Nicola, who does the score, who, by the way, really loves when I play Ice Ice Baby during
Is that like
during an
his
icing.
is that like his jab or something? Ice Ice Baby?
Yeah.
Vanilla ice.
But I can't really think of a favorite moment. I mean, they're all, and anything time something happens, it's all special. So
Sweetest place on earth, sweetest place for junior hockey. Hannah, I'm sure you got a lot of moments that stick out, in your mind. What is your favorite memory so far from this season that's made it stick out and, be so memorable?
Oh man, I don't know. I have so many, but like for some reason this one specifically is coming to me right now. And it was this one time a couple months ago. I was talking to Westy and his dad, and we were in like the box
First of
right
all,
next to
Westy's dad is awesome. Shout out to Westy's dad. Great guy.
so amazing, so funny. And I remember we were talking, and actually Westy was arguing that he wanted McDonald's, and his dad kept saying no. And then we were like talking about that. And then all of a sudden the Cubs make this huge play, and then all we hear come out of your mouth is dinkle dangle. And
What's so funny about my dingle dangle, huh?
it was just so funny because that's literally you like yelled it, and it was so funny because like you were talking and then you just yelled dingle dangle, and we just lost it. It was it was that's a core memory.
I do have the tendency to yell some random phrases so that
you should put that on a shirt, Josh.
dingle dangle.
Dingle dangle.
That should
Yeah.
be Cubs merch.
Dingle dangle Josh Gerhardt, huh?
Yes.
No,
I'm
I don't
gonna
know. I think if I'm gonna put anything on the shirt, it's gotta be my call from Teddy Bear Toss by far. It was out of the den and onto the ice. It's Teddy Bear time.
I like it's catchy. I like it.
I know. I think if we gotta do something, we gotta do something with that. But I guess you could say dingle dangle is one of my sayings. I did also, I don't know if you remember, I said this one, and Clay looked over at me. He's like, "What was that?" I'm like, "I don't know." It was when Carson Graney scored, and he did like a toe drag, and I go drippy drip drip drip.
I think I do remember that.
Yeah,
It was you say a lot of strange things, and I think that makes your broadcasting like awesome.
Well,
It's
I
so
appreciate
fun.
that.
It's so funny. Like just hearing you come up with these weird phrases.
Don't know where they come from. I don't.
I don't
It's
know
like
if we want to.
it's like
Yeah.
pulling a rabbit out of a hat, and we'll leave it at that.
It's like what's Josh going to say next?
Yeah, what's Josh gonna say next? But we'll kind of close out here with this final question, and we'll make this one quick. You know, as the playoffs are drawing near, what is everyone's goal to close out this season? I mean, right? What was your goal to start the season versus your goal here to end the season? You know, Hannah, we'll start off with you here. We'll do like a little speed round.
Yeah. So at the beginning of the season, my goal was to bring more people into the arena, to, get us out, to get our name out there. And I think now my goal is still that, but then also to make sure that we put out good quality content and keep people entertained during games and, producing a good game.
Absolutely. Denny, take us home here then.
Just creating memories, putting
Mm.
smiles on people's faces, and hopefully we can end with a championship.
Absolutely. Rings on our finger. Denny's putting the sweetest place on earth. And Cubby, take us all home, wrap us up. What is your goal to close out the season versus what was your goal to start the season?
Start the season, I didn't really know what to expect coming in, but it's been very fun. And goal is the same as Denny's. Hopefully they go to nationals and
Yeah.
bring home another championship for Hershey. That would be nice.
I would love that. Championship City, championship in chocolate. A perfect marriage. Well,
Yes.
with that, Denny, Hannah, and Cubby, thank you for joining us on this edition of The Roar. I'm Joshua Gerhart. Find us on YouTube at Hershey Cubs The Roar, or as well as at Hershey Cubs on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok, or Hershey Cubs on Facebook. Hit that like button, subscribe, and or follow us on all accounts. Everybody get those claws up. You know what time it is. Fear the Roar.